Great, so welcome to CS Snacks, the Hour of Code Preview Edition. I'm gonna get my, there we go. Okay, great. So we are on code.org. And if you just go to the main page of code.org, you can click try it because it's the big main thing right now. And it's gonna bring you here. There are two options this year that they've made. One is poem art. So that's really for readers. And I would say, kids who have done some coding before. Hello World is like the level below that, the introduction. So if you look at poem art and you're like, my kids are not ready to do this, do Hello World first, and then they'll be ready to do poem art. But especially in a lot of our communities, we're looking at, kids who have some computer science experience before, right? Have done a little bit of coding, can read, then you can start straight in on poem art.
So the Hello World, it should be, could you use that for the younger kids or just still third through or fourth?
Yeah, I would use Hello World, but I mean, there's still a lot of reading in it.
So like third though?
Yeah, third.
Okay.
I might start third on Hello World. I'd start sixth on poem art. Fifth, I could go either way.
Okay.
Right. Okay. I'm going to share with sound. That's the important part. And then we can watch the cool little video together, which the kids will of course skip. So you can't give them the option to watch it. You have to broadcast it so everyone sees it.
My name is Kaya, and I'm a poet and a computer science student. I've learned so much from coding that's made me a better poet, and so much about my poetry has made me better at coding, just because you have to really think about the words that you choose and what you're going to create once it all comes together. Over the next hour, you're going to learn about computer science and poetry by creating an animated poem. In essence, poetry is making art with words. I create poetry to express myself. I try to stir the audience's imagination and emotions when I write, by using my unique style and rhythm. Just like art, poems can be interpreted in many different ways. The same poem might mean very different things to different people, and each poem has its own mood. Mood is the feeling you get from a poem. Sometimes people associate certain colors and imagery with different moods. For instance, the color yellow makes me feel cheerful. And when I think about a mood like fear, I sometimes picture a dark and stormy night in my head. In this activity, you'll have the opportunity to illustrate and animate the mood of a poem based on how it makes you feel. Let's take a look at how you'll do this using code. You'll see that your screen is split into three main parts. On the left is the play space. This is where your animated poem will show up. Each poem has a title and an author. This middle area is the toolbox. New blocks of code will become available in this space as you go through the lesson. The space on the right is the workspace. You can drag blocks out of the toolbox and into the workspace to build your program. The instructions for each level will be up here at the top of the screen. If you want a hint, click on the light bulb. First, select a poem you like. There are all kinds of poems, and you can choose a new one on every level. Next, you'll drag blocks from the toolbox into your workspace to animate your poem. You can choose a background color or effect that matches the mood of your poem. Then click Run to see your poem in action. Spend some time reading the different poems and find one that sparks an emotion in you. Think about how you feel and how you can communicate that feeling through imagery and code.
Okay. Cool. How are you feeling about that? Good? Doable?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think kids really like that too right now.
Yeah. All right. So this is what they see when they're first thrown into this. And it's a lot. Like it's a lot of words on one screen. So we always think about how to support our kids with what they should be attending to, what's the most important thing. And especially for the younger kids or the kids with less executive function, going through it as a class together on the projector before giving them their own computers is a really good idea. We can go through what are the important things that we see here. Shout them out. Just tell me something you see.
The select poem box.
Yeah, I like that you've started at the top left corner. That's like reading a book. Excellent. So we have select poem under here. And oh, look, there's a triangle to drop down. Ooh, we can choose any poem we want. And so imagine the kids who are going to go through and read every poem. Is that counterproductive? No. Kids spending time reading poetry is always a win. I don't care if they don't code this hour, if they've read every poem. That's awesome.
Stop reading right now.
Stop reading and play with things, right? Yeah, so totally give them the time to read all the poems. What's something else you see?
I noticed that there's an immersive reader icon, which for a
Ooh.
lot of my students that I've had might be really useful.
Tell me about that.
I know that they can read line by line, or it reads for them line by line if they need it to.
Is that this book with the...
Yes, with the audio. So it's not reading the poem per se, but at least the directions.
Yeah, but this is still popped up over it. What? Oh, can we do less?
Let me try to open it on mine.
I'm not getting to... This is like a weird...
Oh, I think you have to, I wonder if you click OK, but will it come back?
Oh, there you go. Okay. And we have to click this X to go away. Then we can do it. Okay.
When.
Nice. Okay, so there's a lot of features here. I can click on a word.
And I think there's a play button at the bottom too, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is there... Am I missing the play button? Yes, I'm missing the play button because of Zoom.
You read this poem, what feeling do you get? What color matches that feeling?
Awesome. Okay, so if a kid wants to exit from this and do the coding,
They would click the back arrow, the exit arrow.
very cool. Okay, so those are the instructions. With we can read immersively if we want. In general, kids skip directions entirely. So what do you think is going to be the first thing that they do?
Start moving blocks around.
Maybe they'll start moving blocks around.
Mhm.
Well, I have a lot of kids who put in every block in order. So let's just try that and see what happens. Okay, so I see things changing when I do that. How do you think I run the program?
Yeah, it's funny because it did have a big block there saying click run, but nobody ever knows to run it.
Nobody even knows it, right? So run is the important button to make it go. And look what happens. Oh, the background's moving and text is appearing. How is it appearing?
It's fading in, right?
It's fading in. Let me reset and run it again. There you go. It's fading in and it's going. Is it going all at once?
No, it's going line by line.
Line by line. Okay, so it gives you time to read each line. So over time, you'll see more lines. And what about this green bar at the bottom? What was that? See this going up?
Yeah, that's as it plays.
Yeah, so that's kind of like your progress bar. And so if you think you've beat the level, but it's not going, you have to wait till this gets to the end. Okay, and it won't, won't say you won until the progress bar gets all the way to the end. So sometimes you have to be patient. Okay, so that was good enough in level 1. Level 1 is really just about finding the run button. Okay. Okay, we are at level 2 and we have to predict. We're gonna read this together. Read the poem. What sounds and images come to mind? After you type your answer, press run to watch and listen to the poem animation. And look, run doesn't work. So you have to type something in the box before you can run. So the thing that the kids left to their own devices will type in the box is gibberish and then run it. Let's have that kid experience. I want to sing like the birds, not worrying about who hears or... So the answer that the kids typed in there is going to come to your classroom if you have this assigned as a classroom to kids. But if you're just running it with nothing, just without signing in, then it's just going to go nowhere. So it's not very important. And kids can always skip to level 3 by just clicking on it. All right, now we're getting to proper stuff. So we've seen like different poems, we've seen different effects, and now kids are going to be like, I want to do my own effect, right? Okay, adding sounds and music to your program can change how the poem feels while you're reading it. Add a new sound or music block to your code. Find sounds or music that match the mood of the poem. Now, will kids have run that, have read it? No, right? They're just going to stick stuff in. So let's see. Music is at the top. So let's see. Robin, do you want to choose us a music option? What sounds good to you? What looks good to you?
I didn't read it yet, but night.
Let's put in night and let's press play. Cool. That's pretty awesome. I'm going to pause it. What's another thing that you would want to add to this poem to make it look better, sound better, be better?
Look or sound, either.
Either.
Need a background.
A background. Okay. Which one of these is going to give you a background?
Set background.
Oh, there you go. Do you want the color one or the picture one?
Oh,
There's two set backgrounds.
let's do picture one.
Picture one. Okay. I'm going to click on the little triangle here to give me options. And what kind of background do you want?
How about the night sky? Yeah, that one.
This one?
I'll try that.
Reset and run.
Oh, then you
Ooh.
can change the text. Oh.
Yeah, what's the problem?
I can't read it.
You can't read the text. How are we going to make the text readable?
Gotta change set text color.
Ooh, set text color. Cool. I'm going to put this up here just because I think it looks nicer. You can put it down at the bottom if you want. The order doesn't matter before it starts. What color?
Let's try yellow. I don't know if that'll work.
Cool. What do you think?
Looks good.
You like it? You know what
And
we
then-
haven't done? We haven't used this one that says play sound. Do you want to check it out?
Sure.
Cool.
Yes.
So it says typewriter, but there's loads of them. Anything look good to you?
Play sound. No. What's flutter?
Flutter. Let's see. What happened?
A little bit loud.
Yeah, let's describe what we hear. So what did you hear to start out with? What was the first thing you heard?
I think it was a bell.
It was like a bell. I think that was the flutter sound. Right? So we heard the flutter sound, but what are we hearing now?
Like a cricket.
Like crickets, like night stuff. So it turns out there are two different blocks. Play music is something that happens over and over and over. And play flutter only happens one time. That's a good thing to know the difference about for later. So if you get kids to observe that now, you won't have to support them later with, how do I get this to repeat?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay. We'll let this finish.
Then you can change the font too. Does that make a difference?
Yeah. Let's change the font in the next level.
Okay.
Oh, events. We have a new video to watch. Should we watch this?
Sure.
Sometimes a poem's mood shifts partway through the poem. What might start out as a happy sounding poem turns sad, or perhaps darkness turns to light. In this activity, you'll be working with events. You can use this event block to change the course of your program when a specific line in your poem shows up. Notice that event blocks don't snap into your main program. Instead, they create little programs of their own. Read through your poem and find a moment where the mood shifts. Count what line that happens on. 1, 2, 3. In your event block, enter the number of the line. Then program in something to reflect the shift in mood when that line shows up on the screen. When you press run, you can see what you coded.
Cool. Okay. What did we learn?
Anyone here? Are you
Yeah.
there? Yeah, that I like that it changed the background or the sound.
Yeah, so we learned about changing the effects, and we also learned about this green block. So all of our blocks so far has been like this dark blue purple, but this green block, can someone read this for me?
When line question mark shows.
Excellent. And the important part in here, the most important word here is when. So you might remember from Scratch or from code.org or whatever that an event is when something happens. So this is when a particular line shows. Okay, so it means that we have to do something when it's run, and we have to do something different when a certain line shows. Who can tell me which line they want something different to happen in? Where does the mood shift in this poem, or a new thing happen? I can read it out. Somewhere it rains and things will grow green and wonderful. Somewhere inside me too it rains and things will grow green and wonderful. Sometimes my insides rain from the inside out. And then I know I am alive, I am alive, I am alive.
I would say 7.
7? Okay, cool. So if you picked 7, if that's the point where it changes, how should it be before 7?
Kind of chilled. No.
Cool. Do you see any color or movement or sound words in the poem?
The rain.
Rain, good. Sharisa, do you see any looks or sounds or feels words?
I would say the fills would be probably they're wonderful, growing green and wonderful.
Good, growing green and wonderful. Excellent. So everyone can make their own choices as to what that is, but let's just start with a background color. What kind of background color should we have for the first part of the poem? What do you think? I think I'm going to choose this medium green because that reminds me of growing green things. Okay, so that's the growing green and wonderful. Cool. So that's how it's going to start. Is there any other way it should start? Does it need a font or a sound or a music or a text color? What do you think, Robin? Should we change the font?
Oh, yes, of course.
Let's see. Well, there's lots of them, but it doesn't give you a preview. So we'll just pick one at random.
Sure.
Georgia. Oh, there we go. It previews it here. Okay. And then, so that's how it's going to start. And then on line 7, we're going to do when line 7 shows. And the nice thing here is it doesn't give you the option to pick any numbers that aren't in your poem. Usually. Though I could be wrong about that since I've just seen line 10. Okay. Double check me on that one. So when line 7 shows, how should our effects change? Should we change the font?
Oh, yeah. Make it
We can change it to
darker. Or
there you go. I know impact's going to be darker. What else? What else should we change?
can you add sound?
Yeah, we could add a sound. Do you want a sound that plays once or a music that plays over and over?
I would say maybe have the rain come sound first.
Okay. Ooh, there's an effect. I wonder
Or,
what the effect is. Should we press play and see what that effect is?
of course.
Oh, so that like goes over top. It's a
I like that.
visual thing that happens one time
Yeah.
over the background.
Oh, and it changes the whole.
Yeah, it changes the font of the whole thing. So that's good to know. Okay. Let's see. So do you like the rain effect?
I like it. Sharisa, do you like it?
Yeah, I like it. I thought it was pretty cool.
What about a music or a sound or something under it? Is there a rain sound? Ooh, drizzle. Drizzle's a sound. Music. Cool. When line 7 shows, when we get I am alive, what kind of sound do you want to play?
What's when?
Let's try that. The rain. Somewhere that rain. Somewhere inside the rain. Happening faster than. What do you think about that? It is okay. Sort of a vibrant. I wonder if you can just.
Ooh.
No, it doesn't work to just do it. Okay. Oh, here's the cool thing. What if we do it 3 times? Pretty sound. Vibrant. Vibrant, vibrant. What if we did them all? Do you think it's going to go bling, bling, bling? Or do you think it's going to go bling once, but with like 3 times as loud?
Oh gosh.
Give me a prediction. Let's take bets here.
I think it's just gonna be repeated.
Okay, 3 times. We're going to hear 3 separate things. Let's see. Yeah, we just heard it 1 time. Right? Cool. So if kids want something to happen over and over and over again, maybe they should put it on each different line. Ooh, 7, 8, and 9.
Oh, okay.
Cool. I don't like this font here. Should we pick a different font for it?
I'm nodding, but you're probably not even seeing us. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You can listen to it for 3 times, right? That was cool. Okay. I feel like we're done, but this level is not letting us move on. What else does the level want us to do before we're done?
Try using a new foreground or background effect under your when line shows event block.
Okay, so what does that mean? That's a lot to decode for a kid. What
Oh,
blocks
yeah.
are we looking for?
We're looking for 7, 8, and 9. The when.
Okay.
Oh, if
So-
that's what we're using.
Yeah, so underneath here, underneath one of our events, we need a different type of block. What type of block?
The foreground or background effect.
Okay, so I see the word effect, so maybe rain effect, maybe that would count.
Mhm.
I don't see foreground anywhere, but I see background. Right? So what do you think? Do you want to choose one or more of these, effects or backgrounds?
Yeah. What's the set background to rippling sky thing?
Should we stick it on line 7 and see? That was amazing. I'm very impressed with that. We did it. Okay. So here's the thing. Kids might be like, I want to make this poem perfect now. And that is totally okay. Really, as long as they get to level 3, if they spend the rest of the time perfecting their poem, that's fine. 4 is where events are introduced. If you stay at 4 forever, also fine. But more and more stuff is going to be introduced. So if you find a kid who's just, staying here to avoid going on, you can be like, well, look, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 more interesting things. And then at the end, it'll be free play. So if you hover over it, it says free play. So try to get to 9 and then you can make all your own choices. But you won't know all the powers until you get to 9. Right.
And they can always go back to any of those.
Oh yeah, you can always just click on any of the
Right.
bubbles. Yeah.
I can't see it because my screen's blocking it now.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, at the top, there's a little navigation thing.
Just like always. Okay, perfect.
Okay, so here's another predict and read the poem. What images come to mind? Let's do this like proper, attentive rule following students. So let's read this poem first. Don't go into the library. Alberto Rios. The library is the book of books. Its concrete and wood and glass covers, keeping within them the very big, very long story of everything. The library is dangerous, full of answers. If you go inside, you may not come out the same person who went in. So what images does that bring to your mind? We can be totally obvious here. What are kids gonna say? Books.
Books and more books.
Lots of books. Anything else?
Falling books.
Falling. library, shelves, darkness,
Dangerous.
danger.
Full of answers.
Say it again, Robin.
Full of answers.
Answers. Lovely. Okay, cool. So that's we thought about what we're gonna this is predict ahead of time. And then we're gonna run it and see what it does. Oh, look, there's rain, there's a book, there's exploding, there's papers. Oh, there's emojis. There's a little dude. Oh, and then there's a rainbow cat following emojis in a library. What? Kids are gonna go crazy.
They're getting mad. I want to do it.
I want to put in a rainbow cat. I want to put in emojis. I want to put in all poop emojis. Right? Go for it. Okay. This is when it's going to go wild and it's going to go viral. And kids who are on previous ones are going to skip to this level. Okay. So yeah, so that is level 6 and there's a new video, which kids will immediately skip because they're so excited about doing it, but we're going to watch. So this is a good time. As soon as you hear the buzz, right? Oh, that's so cool. Oh, I want to do that. If you can stop everyone, if you can try, stop everyone and bring them to the carpet, and we can all talk about turn to your neighbor and say one thing you want to make or whatever, and watch the video together. This will give them all of the content in order to empower them to make those things.
In poetry, authors use imagery to paint a picture in the reader's mind. When we see the word crocodile, we automatically imagine a green crocodile in our minds. To get an image like this into an animation, we'll use sprites. This Make a New Sprite block lets you make a sprite and choose a costume for it. Choose a costume for the sprite that you think goes with the poem. To change the sprite's location, you can click the pin icon in the location block, and then click where you want it to go in the play space. In the next few levels, you'll see some new blocks. This block allows you to change the size of your sprite. This block allows you to animate your sprite with a behavior. If a poem mentions wandering clouds, first make the cloud sprite. Then select this behavior block, drag it out, and choose wandering. Make sure your sprite costumes match. When you press run, you'll read and see a wandering cloud. Now you can add literal images to illustrate the words in the poem. Have fun!
Okay, so you'll have noticed they taught us how to add sprites, but they didn't teach everything that would make you able to make that previous poem. So there are more levels that are going to teach you all the skills you need. At this point, I would like to send this over to a volunteer. So I'm going to copy this into the chat for you. And what do you think, Robin? Do you want to share your screen and you can be the leader now and you can be making the choices?
Sure.
Awesome.
I'm like clicking. Oh, wait, how do I get back? Okay. Yeah, I clicked on it already.
Great. You can share your screen. And if you can, when you share your screen, if you can also share sound.
Okay. Can you let me share?
Oh, yes. There you go. Try it now.
Oh, which one do I want to do?
How are you feeling about this, Teresa? Are you completely inspired?
I love it. I'm sorry for my camera being off. I've been snacking.
Oh, no problem. No, it's okay.
Okay.
Cool. So you can just press X on that. And if you could make your Chrome window the bigger.
Yeah, I just want to
Perfect.
oh, that is me. Okay, gosh. I so close this one. Okay.
Excellent.
All right.
Okay. So some kids are going to start out just using this poem. Other kids are going to want to change their poem first. So what do you want to do?
Yeah, I think I'll change my poem.
Cool.
Was that the library one? You should do that one, huh?
Yeah, you can do that if you want.
Was it called library?
It's called Don't Go into the Library, D. There you go.
All right.
Cool.
Do you guys want to tell me what to do? Oh, and
Yeah, oh, I think you should find a library background, like that's scary.
okay. I have to see where I'm. Oh, that's nice and scary.
Ooh,
Ooh, I like that.
that's scary.
Should we have that be next?
Yeah, maybe we can have that be the second one. What about the one just next to it? That's kind of red.
This one?
Yeah,
Oh.
there you go. That could be one of them, and then the dark one could be the other one. We could like switch between them.
No, wait. Okay.
Cool. When do you think we should switch it? When line what shows?
What do you guys think? 5?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like that. That because that's where it first says dangerous.
I just run it.
Yeah, let's just check it out. Hmm. There we go. What else do we need?
Right.
Yeah, it definitely wants us to use a sprite. In order to pass this level, we have to use at least one sprite. It's up to you. What kind of sprites do you think should be?
Oh,
Yeah.
is there
Oh
ghosts?
yeah. So in order to use a sprite, first you have to make one, and then you can set it to begin spinning. So that block will work, but you also have to use a make at the
Make-
top. Yeah. It's up to you. I don't know if you can scroll in here. Or they're like, can you go up and down? Oh yeah, there you go. Whatever you think. There's book, there's open books, there's a world, a lamp, a fire.
I think you see a book.
Yeah, up the top left of it. Oh, there you go, stack of books. Excellent. Cool.
Or maybe we should do that.
Ooh, which line is it going to start spinning on? Yeah, so right above that one line, what shows?
2 maybe.
Well, let's see.
Right.
Right now, the stack of books only shows up on line 5. There you go. You can make it happen in the beginning. And then there you go. Then you can pick line whatever you want there. Cool. Let's test that out. Ooh. That's very cool. Okay.
Oh, and you can stop it too, huh?
Yep. And you can also remove the sprite later if you want to take it off.
5, 6.
You totally got this.
That's where you
You're-
gotta switch it to the back to the books.
Mhm.
Line. 7. What about, do I need to have sound?
Yep, there's totally sound.
Bubbles. Let's do bubbles.
Are you gonna do it right at the beginning or when a certain line shows?
I think on 5, we'll put it on there. Confetti. I don't know if there's anything else. Shattered glass would be better, huh?
Yeah, you can do that. I'm gonna check it out, run it and see if you like it.
Anything else?
So that's on line 5 when the background changes.
Oh, I didn't have sound on.
Oh yeah, no. So the effect is just a visual effect,
Oh, I didn't do sound. Why
right?
did I
Sound is a different block. You can keep playing. There you go.
do
Yeah,
sound?
that's something kids will think an effect is a sound effect, but here it's just
I
an
would-
effect without
I
sound.
looked right here and I just picked the same color.
Totally.
So do we want music or sound?
Yeah. Do you think you can make a shattering glass sound at the same time? Maybe break?
No, I was like,
Yeah, you got sound. It's probably gonna be really loud. We'll see.
yeah.
It'll be an adventure.
Need some sound.
There you go.
And then should have some other background at the back. Anyways,
Nice.
keep playing this forever.
I know you totally could. Here's what I want to ask you though, because we're, new skills are available, but at this point, like kids have everything they need to make amazing stuff. And they've looked through all of the possible backgrounds and all of the possible effects and all the possible poems. Robin, can you show us if you go to select poem?
Top.
Yep, do the back and go all the way up to the tippy top. Can you choose enter my own?
Oh my gosh, it was so funny. I was going to ask you that.
Yeah. So
I
now the
hadn't
kids
thought
know
about it.
all the emojis and all of the things and the pictures and sounds and everything. Now they're ready to write their own poem with the stuff that's available here, right? If you ask them to write their own poem first and then they come here and they don't find the stuff they need, it's super frustrating, right? So they need to have this experience first before you ask them to write their own poem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there'll be a couple of them doing it to begin with. I'm going to write no. Okay, go ahead.
hey, if a kid wants to write their own poem, freaking go for it. Like, I'm never going to stop a kid from writing,
No.
but never require the kids to write
No.
until they know the full inventory of stuff they can use. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool. Well, let's see. Sharisa, are you available to do screen sharing next?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Do you have the link or do you want it again?
I still have it here in the chat.
Excellent. So we're going to be on level 7, I think, for this one.
Okay.
So if the link doesn't take you exactly there, you can click on the bubble that's 7.
All right. Let me share my screen. Okay. Can you see it?
Yep. we got
Okay. All right. So, ooh, links and hues.
you. Mhm.
Oh, this one will be fun. Okay. So sprites can do certain actions or behaviors. Oh, I'm one of those kids. I read everything.
Hey, that's great. Some kids will,
Totally
and some kids won't.
opposite. Totally opposite of me. I won't read anything.
So what kind of blocks
Okay.
does it want you to use?
Sprite begins.
Okay.
So I want to find that. Oh, it's telling me there's a new block too. So Sprite begins.
Mhm. And you can push X over that new block to give you more space.
Okay. And it's spinning right.
Mhm.
And then I can also do it oh, I don't want it to end at the same time though.
Okay.
So I want it to end at line 4.
Mhm. Do you want it to do something instead?
Yeah, let me take a look and see what else. Maybe I want it to flutter because this poem seems like it's fun and there's dancing and whirling. Okay, let's see. I want to just run it for now and see what it does though.
Great.
Oh wait, I have to say stops fluttering, right? So
Oh yeah, I was gonna wait until you found that later and debug it, but you saw it already.
Okay. So it kind of just bounces right there. I don't know that I like fluttering then.
Nope, you can keep playing. There you go.
Okay, I'm gonna go back to, actually, no, let's do looping
You can
east.
always just pick one and press play and see what it does.
Okay. And then let's reset, run.
So what does looping mean?
That it continuously goes around and around.
When it goes off the edge, it comes back to the other edge.
Okay, so let's see, what else do I want to do? Keep playing. And let's see, I want to change my font to, I don't know, not impact. We'll try this one. And I want my text to be a typewriter. And I would like to change my background maybe to something in here. Let's go with this one. Let me move this because that's going to drive me crazy. All right, let me see. Okay. So the typewriter is still going. Let's try music. Okay.
So if it's annoying to you that keeps happening,
Yes.
you can just, you'll lose your progress, but, so this is a either or, you can
Okay.
skip to 9 and it'll just let you code forever and it won't tell you you're finished.
Ah, I can't copy this code though. Nope.
No.
I can't copy it. So I'd have to start over.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just leave it for now.
Yeah.
Just for time's sake.
Wow.
Is that really loud on your end?
Yeah, we only heard the first second of it though.
Oh, okay. Let me.
Okay, don't worry about it.
I'm like, that was super loud.
So what do you think?
It's okay. I don't really like that music. I'd
Yeah.
probably change it, but
you can see
I
how
need
you could
something
spend
that's
hours
happier
making
if I want to do
things, right?
music, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have music and you have sound effects and you have other effects and you have so many things you could be using.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one set frame, what is that?
Stick it on.
Okay, let's do it here, because why not?
I was thinking the same thing.
Ice
cream. Rainbow. I like
yeah, let's go with rainbow and run it. Oh, that's a hum. It sounds like it's an airplane.
It's a frame.
There you go. You figured it out.
All right.
Nice. So, Sharisa, I don't want you to lose that. So I'm going to ask you to stop sharing your screen and you can watch us as we go on.
Okay.
So like kids are totally allowed to like learn new skills, but not lose their code by just going and looking at someone else's screen. Or you can open up a copy of this level in another tab in your browser. Because I know kids get really attached to what they're working on and we don't want to have to tell them to throw it away. Right? Okay. So I'm going to share, we're going to go on to 8. So this is the last skill level before the 9, you can do whatever you want. And this is going to teach you about changing the size of a sprite you already made. So let's see, we have a wave sprite here and we have a ship sprite here. Let's make one of them get really big on a certain line. So let's see, which one should we make get really big? Ship or wave?
Wait, let's do the wave first.
Yeah, let's do the wave. Okay. So we're going to set the wave size. What line should that be on?
Maybe 4? Oh, I don't know.
Okay, all of these levels can be just experimental. You can do bad poems and bad animations just to test it until you get to the end. This doesn't have to be great. So we're going to set the size to what? What size do you think it starts at? What size do you think it is now?
150.
You think it's 150 now? Okay, so this says set size to 150 at 4. So if we leave it like that, and our prediction is right that it's currently a 150, then it shouldn't change. Did you see it?
Yeah.
It changed a little bit, okay? So if that was original and then 150 was a bit bigger, what do you think was the original setting up here that it defaults to?
Probably 100.
100. There you go. So you haven't, known it ahead of time. You figured it out by deduction, by experimentation, right? So if I set this to 100, I can check that now when I run it, it shouldn't change at all. And that would verify that 100 is the default setting, right? Okay. So see, it didn't change at all at line 4.
And if you read it, like, I don't.
Yeah, no, kids are not going to read it. It's our job to support them, to either direct them to read it or to tell them or to support them finding it through experimentation. Okay, so let's say we want to make it 4 times as big. What would that be? 400?
400.
Okay. I'm going to play it again. It's going to play my poem. Okay, it's a sync like a wreck ship at sea. Woo! It became big. Do we like this?
That's awesome.
Okay, this doesn't inspire me. I'm not inspired by this poem. I don't really think about things getting bigger being interesting, but it's in my back pocket for in case I want to do it later. So I can just click continue. And now this is the celebration part. So we're going to watch this video and then we're going to be able to make whatever we want.
Congratulations! You just learned the basics of computer science and how to find the mood of a poem. Now you can create your own animated poem to share with your friends. Will you carefully choose a simple scene for the whole poem? Or will you use lots of events to create a new scene for every line of your poem? At the end of the tutorial, you can share a link to your creation with your friends. Stretch your imagination and have fun.
And that is it. Did you get any inspiration from seeing the sample projects? So
Yeah.
this is what we're trying to get kids to. It opens up all of the blocks. It gives you this new thing. It didn't have this before. The creating the pop effect with lots of different sprites. Yeah. So that's the thing. This is the incentive for getting to level 9 is that it gives you the amazing effects. So you can do like the emoji things and have a rain of emojis, right? Isn't that cool? And then of course they're going to put in 9999999. So what happens when we do that? I always test everything with 9999999.
And then repeat.
Yeah, kids are always going to do that, right? Cool. So what other blocks do we have? What else is new? We have when line shows, that's our event. We have make new sprite. We've done that before. There's lots of sprites there. We have set size, which is what the entirety of 8 was about. And we have begin behaviors and stop behaviors. We have remove the sprite. So it means stuff doesn't have to sit there on the screen forever. It can take it off. Let's see, we have to create the pop effect, which we just did with the effect. Ooh, we can make copies of new sprites. But they didn't do anything.
There's no poem. You need a poem?
Yeah, it says make new, read sprites.
But you need a line.
Yeah. Well, let's give them behaviors.
You need a poem.
Yeah, we need a poem. Why is the poem not reset? Hey, there we go. Okay. Yay. Okay. So
That's cool.
that's something new I learned. The when event won't happen if there's no poem, because it doesn't have a line one, right? Awesome.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's great.
So I think these, yeah, when it does make new sprites, it puts them at random locations, and it might be different the next time where the 3 random locations where it are. Yeah. Cool. So, oh, we have glide. So you could like make a shark start here and glide over to here. Let's try that. Let's make a shark. I'm gonna take these out. What do we have shark wise? Okay, lizard. We're gonna make a lizard. We're gonna make it start at the top left and go to the bottom right. So how do you think we should place it on the screen? Let's start with make new lizard. There we go. And then we'll move it here. So it says at 200, 175.
You have to click that pin, right?
Yeah, there's a pin right next to it, and it'll let you choose. So I have no lizard here because it doesn't exist yet, but I can use my mouse to click there. See, and then it'll appear there. Okay. So if I wanted to glide down to here, I'm going to use the pin again. And now that I have the lizard, oh no, it doesn't move it. Let's try it. Just click down here. We've got our emojis, and then our lizard glides down.
Love it.
Cool. Okay, what else? We know about effect. We know about music that plays over and over and sound that plays once. We know about fonts. There are not very many fonts. They're not great. The color of the text effect, or did we mess with that? I think Sharisa messed with it a little bit.
Oh, the
Oh,
typewriter.
she did the
like
typewriter one, yeah. But you can make it different how the text appears, where it comes in from and how it appears. Yeah. Oh, there's a text highlight. So if you're having trouble seeing your text over the back of the screen, you can highlight it in a different color. So maybe you want to set the text color to white. There you go.
We could be here for days. These kids are going to be mad. Sorry, gotta go.
Here's the cool thing. The set background 2 has 2 different arguments here. So the first one, blooming, that's like the animation. So it's like bubbles. And then the second one, where it says spring, this is the color scheme. So if I do autumn, I'm going to get like reds and browns and stuff. Oh, see the bubbles? Kind of an autumn color scheme. If I change it to like ocean, I'm probably going to get like blues and greens and stuff, right? There you go. So, and then we also have the background that's just regular. Okay, here's the thing. What if I set the background to my ocean bubbles, but then I use another set background with a picture? Which one are we going to end up seeing? Both, or the first one, or just the second one? Let's pick one you can really see the difference on. So what's your prediction? Are we going to see both backgrounds at the same time, like over top of each other? Are we going to see just the first one or just the second one?
I would say see the bubbles, and then I don't know if it'll switch maybe to the background. Okay,
Sharisa, do you have another prediction? Same or agree or disagree?
I'm wondering if, because it's in the same set of blocks, maybe they would both appear.
Okay, let's reset and run and see if we're right. What do we see?
Just the image.
Just the image. What if we change the order of this?
Exactly.
Would your prediction change?
Oh yeah, because the bubbles would go over it probably.
Okay. So do you think we'll just see bubbles over white, or we'll see bubbles over the landscape?
Maybe over the landscape.
Yeah. I agree. But no.
You just see the bubbles only. Okay.
Yeah, so that's good to know. So this sets the background to something, and this next one sets the background again, removes the old background, puts a different thing on.
Interesting.
Right? So that's just the interpretation of how the blocks work. And the thing is, a lot of kids will come in with a preconception of how they should work and get mad when they don't work how they expect. And you just got to be like,
try another way.
That's how they work, right? Good. You discovered through experimentation how they work. Good job. And you can also, because the background is cool, but they probably are getting it mixed up with effect, right? So the effect will happen over top of this. So we should see rain and the background. See?
Yeah.
But it only happens once. So like how to get it to happen all the time over this is the kind of thing that kids are going to struggle with. And we don't always have answers because, you know, this is just all the stuff it can do right now. And maybe when you grow up, you can design an hour of code that works how you want it to work. Thank you so much for coming. Do you have any last thoughts or reflections or questions?
No, I think this is great. I did Scratch with was it 4th grade today? Well, I did it with other classes, but 4th grade, and because I did it with older kids earlier, I was like, oh, okay. So I started really slow on because I went through CS first and just started with characterization. And I usually just watch the video, and then I'm like, no, we're watching the video together and we're doing this together. And I was like, it made such a difference. They actually were doing everything. So this helps a lot. This is like, yes. Like
yeah. Left
but I
to
don't,
their own devices, kids will
yeah.
have a very diverse experience.
Yeah. It's just now getting the teachers to keep going with it because they're like, oh, we got to stop working on it now. I'm like, no, I leave, you keep working.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. So awesome. I was really happy that it was poem art this year because it can be used over and over and over again in so many classes and years.
Yeah.
Right.
So I start, and that's why because I do 2 different weeks. I'm like, oh, I'm starting it this week. So that way they can do it next week again, hopefully without me, you know?
Yeah.
Just a little reminder.
That is a great practice because you as the specialist, right? You can go in and do your hour of code before the week of code.
Yeah.
So that when they do it, they don't need as much support from their teacher.
Right.
That's hopefully. Great. I'm publishing that as a top tip.
Yeah. I just gotta get a note out to them saying, okay, teachers, you're doing this.
And your kids already know how. So
exactly.
Let them teach you.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
And this is great. So like if I sent this to the upper grades, oh my gosh, the teachers will say, well, they've already had a little bit of code. I mean, they've had a lot of coding before, but I've been doing Scratch this week. So yeah, I think this is great. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Sharisa, you're going to go home and code some poems?
I am. Actually, I was thinking about my old 3rd and 4th graders and how we did our poetry units. And I have some teacher friends that I'm like, okay, I need to share these with them, especially for hour of code. Why not do 2 with 1? Well, you know how I feel about integration anyway. So might as well do both. Yeah. It's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, especially with the mood.
Yeah.
That's like so right on right now.
So we were very engaged with this activity, but can you imagine a kid who would be like, poetry? I don't want to do poetry. I think that kid needs to be reminded, and all teachers need to be reminded, songs are also poetry. You got a favorite song lyrics?
Yeah.
Rap songs are literally poetry.
Yeah.
Right? Taylor Swift songs, whatever you want. And that's why like they're, put in your own one, put in, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a poem. It can it can be a joke, a knock joke.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's funny. Right. So it doesn't have to be about poetry and imagery. It's really about showing lines of text one after another. So maybe it's a story or a meme or a commercial about McDonald's. Like, I don't care. Right. But you can definitely find, every kid can find something.
Yeah.
And even the kids who hate words, right? They can use like emoji art on the keyboard, right? Or do, I don't know, with numbers or symbols, or it really doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, this is great.
Cool.
I love it. I'm thinking about like doing alliteration, similes, metaphors, all of, onomatopoeia. They could drop in the sounds. That's so cool.
I really like that the poems work better when they're really short.
Right.
My favorite poems are 4 lines long. Right? And that's all you need to do.
Well, and I like the typewriter effect, which I usually, whenever you see that in slides or whatever I used to do, is like, oh gosh, please don't use that. And then as it said the same thing when you used it, I was like, oh my gosh, I loved it because it made you actually helped you read it. So that was like the best.
Well, I look forward to seeing all your poems and
Yeah.
happy coding.
Thank you. Thank you.